first.
Okay. All right. My name is Chief Wally Weehot with the Splendora Police Department. Basically what we have is a train derailment that happened this morning about 7:28 a.m. We had a southbound Union Pacific train headed down the tracks, and we had an 18-wheeler attempt to cross the tracks. It's a yield intersection for the railroad track, so there's no guard arms. The train was going southbound and crossed the tracks and was hit broadside by the train.
Can you tell us, were there any fatalities?
Yes, there was one white male fatality.
Okay. Anything you can tell us about the fatality, the male?
At this time, we're still trying to locate some family members, so can't release his name, but he was thrown from the cab of the truck and the train. The 18-wheeler was drugged probably a half mile down the tracks, roughly.
I know you kind of explained it, but is that the reason for the accident? Did he go to the track and the train tried to stop? Is that what happened? Or?
The train, again, is still under investigation, so we don't know exactly when they applied the brakes. We do know the 18-wheeler crossed in front of the train. There's no doubt about that. Apparently he did not see the train coming. There's a good enough vision from where he crossed at that he should have seen the train coming, but obviously did not, and crossed the track and was struck broadside by the train, southbound train.
Were there any of the employees of the train, were they hurt?
No, nobody on the train was hurt.
Okay. So as far as the number of cars that have been derailed, can you tell us how many exact cars have been derailed?
Roughly we have approximately 15 cars derailed. We have Hazmat on the scene. They are monitoring air quality. Currently we have no rail cars leaking any hazardous material. The only thing we're dealing with is spilt diesel from the 18-wheeler fuel tanks.
Any idea how much diesel fuel is consumed?
No, sir, not at this time, because like I said, it's very lengthy down the tracks, how far the 18-wheeler was pushed. I don't know how far or how much fuel he had on the vehicle at this time, or to the extent of how far down the track it was carried.
So you got a cleanup that you have to do. Has anyone given you any information regarding the cleanup?
They have. We have Union Pacific on the scene right now with a lot of heavy equipment that are attempting to right the train. They're also attempting to coordinate with Hazmat to clean up the diesel spill. The tracks are, as you can imagine, in pretty bad shape. We're probably looking at 15 hours at least to get midline opened back up east and west. We're going to attempt to get the train separated at the point of impact, which is also the crossing, of course. There's a subdivision behind there that they have no access or egress to the subdivision as long as the train's blocking the tracks. So we're coordinating with Union Pacific to get that open as quickly as we can. We ask everybody to be understanding because it's quite a mess out there, and it's going to take us a while to get it cleaned up.
You said there's only fuel from the 18-wheeler, and I just want to make sure people understand. Is there any kind of concern for the community behind that particular accident? Anything they should be aware of?
No, sir, not at all. Other than the impact on traffic at this time is going to be basically to the west side of Midline. The east side of Midline is going to be impassable for probably at least 4 hours. If anybody in that subdivision needs any emergency service or something like that, they'll have to call 911, and we'll do whatever we have to get back there to them. But for right now, until we're working as fast as we can to get the train separated. So it's a very small subdivision, not that many people back there. So we just need to get the train split where we get access and egress to it.
I hope I'm asking you a good question here as to how people can actually get to or how to avoid that area if they need to get somewhere around that area. How much of this is actually blocked off so people cannot go certain places?
Right now, Fostoria Road intersection is totally blocked off. So they would have to either bypass Fostoria and take the loop around Cleveland to get down Fostoria Road from 105, or they'd have to take the back routes, which gets a little bit confusing for people that don't know the area, but there is other ways of access and egress going down 2090 and cutting across Dog Collins. But for right now, it's just we got too much heavy equipment, too many vehicles trying to get this train picked up to allow anybody to pass. It'd be too dangerous.
Chief, and there's no other way to get to midline, right? It's just okay.
I mean, from the northbound side, yes. I'm sorry, from the southbound side, you can still exit midline and get there. But from the northbound side, no.
Okay, can we talk about the crossing? So there are no bars.
No, there is no cross arms. It's a yield intersection for moving traffic that come across the tracks at that point. There's no flashing lights, no guard arms, just yield signs that advises traffic to yield to the train.
Now, in the past, have there been any other incidents at this crossing?
Nothing recently
Okay.
that I recall.
Okay, but in the past there has.
Honestly, that's information I don't know at this time. So.
Anything else we need to know you can tell us about the accident that the public needs to be aware of?
We're going to be posting on our Facebook updates so that people can go to that, and as we are able to open up the roadway for all our local residents, we'll keep them updated on Facebook, and of course they can contact us. But we're at least 4 hours away from opening up the eastbound midline crossover over the railroad track, and that will be limited even when we open it up to residents only. So, and we'll probably, just depends on how quickly this heavy equipment they have brought to the scene is able to move the railroad cars. We've got one car right up against a telephone pole, so we've got energy coming out to make sure the pole is secure and safe. It doesn't appear to be damaged, but we do have a very large tank car up against it, so we want to make sure that's the pole is safe.
And how often will you personally be given the media updates?
I will be on the scene, so either myself or Lieutenant Teller will be giving updates from this point forward. We're going to be at least 4 hours away from another update because we're going to wait to see how quick we're able to get that eastbound side of midline opened up.
Another quick question. So the truck, do you know if he was leaving?
He was going eastbound on midline.
Okay.
So he was crossing over the tracks, going into that area right there.
Okay. The yard wasn't there, right? He was going to whatever business they had, but there wasn't, the truck yard wasn't in the yard.
No, there was no businesses at that immediate intersection. Again, we don't know where he was going or what he was coming from, but he was definitely going eastbound, crossing over midline at the railroad tracks, and apparently did not see the train coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
And your name? I don't know if I got your name.
No, it's Chief Wally, W-A-L-L-Y, and last name's Weehat, W-I-E-G-H-A-T.
Thank you, Chief of Splendora.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Splendora
you, sir.
PD will be working the scene. So
Very good.
we got it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.